Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk about things life, love, spirituality, love attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for our weekly energy reading for the third week in October. So let's see what the energy is for this week. Last week was a doozy with that eclipse and just a lot of different people going through some deep, deep healings, being triggered by some old wounds. I know I was being triggered by a wound of betrayal, and I was remembering all the different times that I was betrayed in the past. And this wound that was triggered last week for me brought up. I went for an emergency session with my mentor, and I had memories of being in high school and my boyfriend at the time, who was super, super, super trustworthy. I would have like laid my life in his hands. And I remember at graduation practice, my senior year in high school, I was sitting in the auditorium and I had full body anxiety because I just heard that there was a rumor that he was going to break up with me after a year or so of being with me, to have a threesome with these two girls who I was going to be sharing a house with during senior week at the beach. So here I am getting ready to graduate high school, super excited. It's such a cool time in your life. And then I get approached with a girl saying, "Hey, like so and so is going to break up with you." And he literally broke up with me that day. And I will never forget it. And well, I lied. I did forget it until I got wounded, or sorry, until I got triggered last week by that wound. It reminded me of that moment of me just feeling like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of that situation. And we ended up getting back together because I still don't know if that was the truth. I still do not know if he lied to me, and if it was going to happen and that was his intention, to have fun before he goes to college. But we ended up staying together, and then we broke up like in the winter of our first year in college. But I still don't know. So that left a wound inside of me of never really trusting men, because I never found out if it was truth or not. So here's the most trustworthy guy that I was dating, and all these things are being said, and I still don't know. So I struggle with trusting men because of that situation, and I had forgotten all about it. So I wrote it in my journal, and I've been working on it, and I've been forgiving myself and giving myself grace. So if you went through a deep healing this week like I did, realizing, everything's clicking into place, why I behave the way I do and why I don't trust people. And I forgive myself. Like, that was a terrible thing to experience, and it ruined my high school graduation. It ruined senior week. I was in shambles that whole time. So I'm sending love to anybody else who's been hurt like that in the past and you never found out the truth. It can throw you for such a loop, because now you don't know what reality really is. You can't believe people's words when they say certain things. And I know people that have lied till they're great to the grave. They will never tell the truth. And that's why it's hard for me to discern between who is that type of person who will keep a secret for the rest of their life and go to the grave with it, or somebody who will own up to it and say, "I'm sorry. This is what I did, and this is what I was thinking of doing." And to me, that is the most attractive thing on the planet, is when people can be honest and just admit it. Like, I am the same way. I am that person. I will admit if I was going to cheat, if I did cheat, if I lied. I say it on my channel all the time. I used to lie, cheat. I used to do so many different things for survival and to protect myself and to be loved. So, starting off this session with this reading, we are coming out of that kind of deep healing that can be really triggering, and it can like literally hurt your nervous system to re-experience all of that pain. But remember, when I work with my clients and when we do our healing, we have to re-feel it to release it. And burping. So once we re-feel it and it all comes up, now we can just like let it go away. And it's no longer in our nervous system anymore. Now, it's going to be hard in the future for me and other people to be with people and to find that trust, but we're just going to have to find partners who know this about us, and they're going to do everything that they can to reassure us that they are being honest and that we can trust them. So we're really going to need to attract people that are just like us, who are willing to speak their truth, who are willing to be honest, and they're not here to play games. They don't want to mess with your heart. Ah, bummer, there's people behind me. Should I pause it? I'm going to pause real fast. Okay, I'm back. I just kind of slid over so you guys can't see. They're working on the fire pit behind me, and I never want to film with somebody in the background when they don't know that they're being filmed. I know it's far away and you can't see their faces, but I just like to be protective. So, coming out of a deep healing, we are going to see what the energy is for this week, and eclipses usually do that. They bring up the muck of all the things that we can't see, and they shine a light on it, and they clip it and move it out. So when we're going through these deep healings, that we are releasing the pain from those situations that we might not have been aware of. So let's start off this reading. We're going to do Light Seers Tarot. We're going to see what messages we need to hear. Okay, 9 of Wands. Here's the photo you guys can see. So I always see this card as like, there's just this small little step that she has to take. It's not a huge fence that she has to climb over, but her dreams are on the other side of this fence. The wands represent passion. So 9 of Wands is, well, 10 of Wands, if she were to have one more wand, it would be too much. She's got to drop the burden. She's done. She's going to finally ask for help. She's not quite at that point where she's so exhausted. She could take one step and relieve herself of all of that suffering. She can move in a new direction. So where in your life could you reevaluate what's happening to you, and where can you take one small step to put you in a better situation? I'm going to get a clarifier on this card. We're going to do some, actually, we're going to do the angel oracle. What do we need to hear, Spirit? I also already opened Sacred Space. I called in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Let's see. Positive intention. And to me, I think this is like an abundance energy. Look at how much she's holding in her hand. She has this abundance of fruits and vegetables. So it's like, what are you intending? What are you seeing is possible? Maybe she's seeing the abundant things that she wants to call into her life, but this person is kind of like, well, I don't know how to get there. And she is saying, just take one step. It's right in front of you. Everything is right at your fingertips. It's in your hands. You just have to believe it to be true for yourself. So she's kind of like, she's like a lack energy. There's nothing in her hands. There's nothing behind her. There's no vegetation. There's no sunshine. And here's this energy where it's just like, whew, everything is available to this woman because she's positively thinking about it. She's putting the intention out there. So when you're not having a good intention, when you're not manifesting your dreams, you are believing in lack. You're thinking it's not possible for you, but it is. Okay, that was a good clarifier. Maybe I'm going to do that 2 more times. I'm going to pick 2 more tarot, and then we're going to do 2 more angel oracles. They just both flew out. Yes. Okay. We have the 8 of Cups. Somebody's walking away from something that has been draining your energy. And we have the Knight of Wands. She is this fiery, and look, there's 4 wands actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this could also symbolize like marriage, partnership. Somebody's finally like dancing to the beat of their own drum. They're going in their own direction. It's going to be fast moving. So somebody's leaving something behind and moving towards something that they desire, an abundant life. They're no longer settling. Okay, let's get 2 more clarifiers. All right, Knight of Wands. Clarifier for Knight of Wands. Blessings or blessing. I love this. This deck often symbolizes like rooting yourself, like connecting yourself to the universe, and then pulling that light down into Mother Earth and deeply rooting yourself in source. So you're connected above, you're connected below. And this means that no matter where you are in your life, you are knowing that you're always safe and you're always being brought exactly what you need when you need it. And when you're moving fast towards a desire, it can be really unsettling. Like, say you quickly leave one job and you want to go to the next one, or you're leaving a partnership, or you're leaving an environment. That in between phase can be really ungrounding. But these blessings that are coming in create change, but you can keep yourself grounded in nature and you can see it as a blessing, even if it might be, I just heard, even if it might be an upheaval. You might be feeling like your life is literally flipping upside down and there's things that are happening back to back to back. You can trust that it's a blessing and everything is okay. And if you're not trusting that it's a blessing, get outside of nature, drop your feet onto the ground barefoot, and just feel this electric white, golden, yellowy light connecting you from above and below. And you're tethered to that energy, okay? Really beautiful. And I just got a message. I just noticed she's kneeling. So I'm reading a book called Heal Your Wounds for the second time. And this book is all about all the different, it's healing rejection, abandonment, all these different wounds we could have, right? So for example, for me, my parents or my mom didn't want a fourth child. Well, I was the fourth child. And then she wanted a boy and I was supposed to be Michael. And then I ended up being Michelle. So innately, my soul felt rejection from the start. It was like, I don't belong here. I'm not supposed to be here. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants me as I am. So I am now being raised in an environment where I am not wanted. So I'm reading in this book that they're called, hopefully you guys don't mind that noise, but they're called withdrawers. So we withdraw ourselves. And withdrawers, they never have their feet on the ground. They're never planted because they don't believe that they belong here. They want to go right back to the spirit world. They don't feel safe. They don't feel comfortable. So I'm always sitting on the ground with my butt, not my feet on the ground. I'm always kneeling on the ground. I never have my feet on the ground. I'm always spaced out in school. I was always up in the clouds, not paying attention to what the teacher was saying. It's like I was never in my body. So if you're somebody who was rejected at a very, very young age, maybe you were neglected, maybe you just were basically told you weren't wanted, maybe you were adopted. There's so many different scenarios that can breed that rejection, that withdrawer energy. And when we're withdrawers, we don't want to be here. And our life is difficult because we innately feel like we're not allowed to experience good. We're just not worthy. So we attract situations that attract shame, that attract guilt. They embarrass us. Humiliation is a big lesson for me. So when we're attracting these scenarios, that proves it to be true. See, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't be here. See, I failed this test. I'm not worthy of being here. And we screw up and we do tough things but it's all circling back to remind us that we are meant to be here. And that is something our soul came here to learn, is that we're not rejected. We are souls and we're going to plant our feet on this earth. And I had this awakening this week, realizing this about myself, that I'm a withdrawer. I don't feel worthy of being here. Always felt stupid my whole life. I always felt not wanted. I always felt alone. I just felt worthless. And that's what happens when we feel rejected as babies or as children. We don't feel worthy of life. And we often have suicidal thoughts and we go through situations that cause us to be embarrassed and to have shame, which proves it to be true. So then we believe it even more. But now that we're awakened, we're seeing our worth. We're seeing that every soul is deserving of being here and receiving good, and screw that. We are not rejected. We're going to love ourselves. We're going to dance to the beat of our own drum. We're going to put our feet on the ground and say, I am here. I want to be here. I want to create a good life for myself. I'm no longer settling for the BS and for the rejection. And if somebody comes into my life and accepts me and loves me and cheers me on, then I'm going to believe that they're not going to reject me. Even though everybody in my past has proved that to be true, you know, creating the lies and the stories and the cheating and the betrayal, I was attracting those situations to prove the story in my head that I'm rejected, and I always get rejected. I can't open myself up to somebody because I'm going to get rejected. But I'm no longer that girl anymore. Now I'm her, and so are you. You are planting your feet on this earth. You're saying, I deserve to be here. I came here for this experience. I'm going to motivate and I'm going to inspire people with my light. And I'm not going to walk away, or I am going to walk away from people that tell me differently or that have rejected me. And I just heard somebody's rejecting themselves. And that's you believing that story that you're not worthy. So this is a deeply rooted belief system that babies are born with. When we are rejected since birth, we innately don't want to be here. We don't feel wanted. So, what does that mean for partnership? When somebody is literally standing there, opening up their arms to you, wanting to hug you, wanting to touch you, wanting to love you, you're going to run the other way because it's foreign. Nobody ever did that to you as a kid. So now it feels like so uncomfortable. Or the opposite, you cling to sex, you cling to physical contact because you want so desperately to be received, because you literally spent your whole life not being received. So it can go both ways. And a lot of times, people that are meant to be together are the opposites and they experience both. So for me, I'm probably going to experience somebody, I'm a clinger. I always want to have the physical intimacy to remind me that I'm loved. I bet you I will probably attract somebody who's the opposite, who doesn't always want the physical or the emotional intimacy because they fear getting close because they're not used to that. And my watch just buzzed. How funny is that? Confirmation. Wow, that was a really beautiful message. I feel like I'm going to end just this series of cards. I know I was going to do 2 confirmations for the 8 of Cups, but I think the blessing card was enough. If you've been rejected, it's time to plant your feet on this earth. You are worthy of being here. Let's get creating a better life than you've had, and let's open your arms to love. This past eclipse was all about opening up to love, allowing the love in. I know it's difficult, you guys. I experience it too, but we desperately want the love. But then when the love comes, it's too hard to experience. We don't want to feel it. So then we kind of push it away. And then we end up in the same suffering because we want the love, but we're not allowing it in. So this new energy is all about letting the love in. Okay, let's do a little hidden truth for anybody in separation from their person. Let's pull some cards. Quick drink break. I just saw I replay our conversations at the bottom of the deck. I wish I had treated you better. Okay. And a lot of times this happens because you didn't have boundaries. If you weren't setting the boundaries and not allowing that treatment, they might have treated you better. So we have to always take responsibility for what's happening to us because it's happening for us. It's not always happening to us. I left you before you could leave me. This is exactly the energy I was just saying, that people push away love because they're so used to being rejected that they leave before you can reject them. And you guys, it is the most painful experience to feel that rejection again and again and again and again. And that's why I believe I had to go through that healing last week with the betrayal wound. It was such rejection. It was like, oh, proof. See, I'm not worthy of being here. Nobody's going to love me. Somebody's going to leave me and go have a threesome with somebody else. So that created this new belief that, yeah, see, my parents didn't even want me, and now he doesn't want me, and nobody wants me, and now I have to live alone forever. Which is so ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous. My body viscerally feels unloved. And when your soul feels that, you don't want to be here. You want to fly right out of your body. You want to go right back to the cosmos and say, it would be easier up here, not on planet Earth. And then you add paying your bills, and then you add all the struggles in life, and maybe you're not happy in your own body, you don't like the way it looks, or maybe you have struggled with eating disorders. This all plays a role in our happiness in these bodies. So when somebody leaves us, it's actually happening for us because it's strengthening you. It's reminding you that you are meant to be here. You are not this flighty person that is going to be broken every time somebody rejects you, because now you don't reject yourself. You're choosing yourself, and you're not settling for the BS. You're saying, I love myself so much. If you don't want me, see ya. Screw you. Bye. To be nice. But for real, you choose somebody that's not going to, do what my high school boyfriend did to me. If that's what he did, I still don't know. I actually had the thought that I wanted to DM him, and I just stuttered, so that's probably a sign I should. But I wanted to DM him and just be like, hey, Rye, like, can you just tell me the truth? Like, was that really real? Or were people just lying to break us up because we were such a great couple, I always wanted to know. And I feel like he would tell me the truth now. I can't stop thinking about you. Let's get some more cards on that. Let's get some animal cards. Ooh, we have the spider and the swan. The swan are mates for life. Time for a deep dive. So they are doing a deep dive, thinking about all the conversations. Remember I said at the beginning, at the bottom of the deck, I saw I replay our conversations. So the swan is all about a deep dive. They're reminiscing on every experience they had with you, every conversation, every touch. And then we have the spider card, 56, make your dreams real, which matches my outfit today. So this is all about what kind of web are you going to weave? And spiders always represent abundance. So there might be some big abundance coming somebody's way. And it usually might be coming after you do this deep dive into the love. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you're in love, you attract more money. And when you attract more money, you end up loving more people because you're in such a good, like, you're literally vibrating because you're so happy that you just achieved something, or you just called in this money, you manifested this thing or this person. So love and money, love and money go hand in hand. And I just saw a little spider on my wall. And I found a spider the other day in my sink, and I was like, yay. I was like, money's coming. So your person is doing a deep dive, reminiscing on all the good times with you. And they're wanting to create this abundant life for both of you. They know that they can do it. They're making their dreams real. They're going towards you, their desires. They're starting to believe that they can create this for themselves, where they might not have believed it before. Okay. Let's do an Archangel Michael card. Let's see. This is called the Sword of Light. We have two. Have no fear. Open up to your spiritual gifts. Okay. Beautiful yellow. Again with the purple. So number 14, have no fear. Fear is a trap of the ego. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back. I've never heard of the word disquieting. Allow me to use my sword of light to free you from the disquieting feelings holding you back. So this is about partnership. Somebody is fearing coming towards you, and their guides and angels are telling them that we got you. We're going to help you release these fears and let you know that it's possible. You can totally do this. We can cut through all of those thoughts, all of those the worry, the am I not good enough, or how can I provide for this person? How can I show up? It's not all on that person's shoulders. It's not on your shoulders. You work together as a team and you believe in the universe and you believe that you can co-create anything together. But this card is saying they're going to cut through that fear and help you. And then we have open up to your spiritual gifts. I'm starting to shiver because it's a little cold out here. So I'm probably going to end this soon. It says, remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. I like this. So don't be so heavily focused on your physical reality. Maybe start really trying to manifest more. Maybe your person is starting to manifest more and they're really starting to open up to the life that you've been trying to show them. But they're very, very resistant because that fear monger voice is getting in the way. To me, I also see this as balance. She's got a bird on either side, the white light coming through her hand. She's receptive. When your hands are open, you're receiving good energy. Remember that your true nature is spiritual, not physical. The angels are sending you messages to guide your soul's growth. Meditation. Sit in meditation and listen to what your guides are trying to tell you. All right, we're going to end with some Micah magic. Have we used it yet today? No, we have not. Oh my gosh. How did I forget to use my own deck? If you guys want to purchase this, it's in my description box below. Okay, final messages. I don't know how many I'm going to do. First one looks good. Your dream job is on the way. So when you open up your spiritual gifts, that's when you start to be shown the way to what is really meant for you, what your soul really came here to do. You know, my brother just went to Hawaii for a work trip and I was on the phone with him for like an hour yesterday, just catching up. And I asked him, I was like, what was your favorite part of the trip? And he literally like struggled to think of something. And then he was like, the fact that I wasn't working. And I was like, bro, you just went to Hawaii. Your favorite part was the fact that you weren't working? Come on, like dream a little bigger. You know, where's your awareness at? But that's showing how much his 9-to-5 job is a prison. At least I think it is for him. I think my brother has all of this creative energy that he has not even tapped into yet. But it's not my job to push him to do that. He's running the family business after my dad passed away. He's always worked there. It's just kind of like, it's what, you know, it's what we do. We just go to these jobs and we conform and we don't share our special gifts. So I felt so sad that I was like, man, I hope one day that he, you know, chooses something that he really loves to do, that so that he can say he went to Hawaii and he can actually acknowledge the beauty of Hawaii and all the cool things and not just the fact that he wasn't working. It's just, isn't that wild how people, their mindset can be so different? And a lot of the world is like that. And we totally can have compassion for them because we were all like that at one point. So an ending to a new beginning. And I just saw this card again, just like she's cutting through that ending. She's like, no more. We are having a fresh start. We're cutting through the BS. We're cutting out the jobs and the people and the places that don't serve us. And we're getting a fresh start. This new job is on the way. It's time for an intuitive day. So when you're not quite sure maybe what that new job might be, take a break, put everything on a shelf for the day energetically, and you're just going to get out and you're just going to let your intuition guide you to places. Go shopping, go get your yummy food that you like, go to a different restaurant, go talk to new people. Just throw a wrench into your week and do something different. This lights you up because it invigorates you and you end up seeing new things. Maybe go for a hike somewhere you've never went for a hike before. Maybe go sit by a river. Do something different to kind of light the spark, to allow the downloads to come in, to allow the intuition to drop in on what your next step should be and how you can weave that new web. So the advice that I would give my brother if he did come to me one day and was like, shush, they all call me shush. He'd be like, shush, I don't think I want to work my job anymore. What should I do? I would tell him to literally go spend time alone and see what feels right. Like, what would you do if you had $1 million? How would you spend your time? And a lot of times we need to be alone for long periods of time to get underneath the surface of all the busyness of our mind. And that's where meditation comes in. We have to like sift through all the clutter, and we could do like maybe a brain dump on a piece of paper, journal out all of our thoughts, get them all out, and then we can hear our intuition from that intuitive day. You open up space for your soul to talk to you. So I would guide my brother and all of you that if you don't know what you should be doing, take a day, be alone for an entire day, sift through all of the external thoughts about money and what you should do and what's the right thing to do, and say, no, if I had millions of dollars, what would I actually want to do? And if nothing comes to mind, then I always tell people, what are you obsessed with? What are you scrolling on your phone? What do you love to watch? I used to love to watch intuitive readings on YouTube, and now I'm doing them. So, whatever you're obsessed with is normally what you're meant to be creating. Your soul is unconsciously drawing you to watch the thing that you're meant to do. So, follow that. I hadn't looked at it, but it flipped. There you go. Confirmation. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Okay. Last one. Yeah, your desires are coming this week. Get hype, get excited. That dream job might be on the way, that dream person. Something new is coming this week. And this card comes out a lot, or we always get the within 2 weeks card too. And this message could be one person watching this video. We don't know. So these readings are collective, right? And they're not personal readings. So if this doesn't happen for you this week, that doesn't mean the next reading, if this card comes out again, maybe it's your turn to experience it. So when you're watching these collective readings, don't grip onto every single card. You know, one card might be for a woman in England watching, another card might be for you, another card might be for me. It's collective, okay? So just take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and just trust that every single card does not have to match your life. Final message, your desires are coming this week. Somebody is trying to figure out a way to make more money or to get a new job, to create a life for themselves, and you have blessings all around you. Set your positive intentions and know that you have this abundant life ahead of you. You just have to walk towards it. Take one little step over this fence. You're leaving the lack behind and you're choosing the abundance. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, connect your energy to mine. You are so worthy of this. Go chase it. All right, peace out.